yeah, that's great news.
Right. It having reached the hour of 5:30, I am calling the June 11th, 2024 Modesto City Council meeting to order and ask the city clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Ricky.
Present.
Councilmember Bavaro.
Present.
Councilmember Williams.
Present.
Councilmember Wright.
Here.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Here.
Vice Mayor Alvarez.
Here.
And Mayor Zwallen.
Here. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation from Mark Hammond from Celebration Center.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Would you bow your heads in prayer? Dear Heavenly Father, I come before you today with gratitude and humility as we gather for this City Council meeting. I ask that you bless each of the members of the council, as well as their families, their businesses, their homes. I pray for your wisdom to be upon them, guiding their decisions, guiding their actions as they work towards the city and to serve the city and the citizens. May they be led by a spirit of compassion, justice, integrity. May their decisions always be the best interest of the community. I ask that you bless Modesto with water, wealth, contentment, and health, and may the city continue to flourish economically, physically, spiritually. May its residents know your peace. I pray that you would bring unity to the council members, that they would work together in harmony and with a common purpose. May their differences be set aside in favor of a commitment to serve the city and its people. I also pray for their families, that they would be blessed, that they'd be happy, and that they would feel secure. I pray for the businesses of Modesto, that they would prosper and thrive. May they be a source of employment and economic growth for the city. May their leaders be guided by a sense of responsibility to the community. I pray that you would bless this council meeting and all who have participated in it. May our actions today reflect your love and your care for this city. I thank you, God, for the opportunity to come together in your presence and seek your guidance. May our prayers be heard and answered according to your will. I pray all these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you. Does the city clerk have any announcements?
Yes, Mayor. Just a reminder, public comment is 3 minutes, and there are blue speaker cards at the entrance of the chambers.
Thank you. Do any of the council members have any conflicts of interest?
And Mayor, I'll go ahead and make the comment here. There are a few items of conflict due to location of projects. For item number 7 and item number 9 under the consent calendar, Councilmember Escudilla-Brayton has a conflict of interest because the project under number 7 is within 500 feet of residential property. Item number 9 is within 500 feet of business property. And then we have item number 21, and that one, Councilmember Williams has a conflict, and that's within 500 feet of business property.
All right, thank you. Will the city attorney please report out on closed session?
Yes, Mayor. The council met under closed session today to consider an item related to existing litigation. No reportable action was taken.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is acknowledgements and presentations. I have a proclamation declaring June 19th as Juneteenth, and I will read the proclamation. Juneteenth commemorates the announcement of the abolition of slavery on June 19, 1865, when Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and announced the end of the Civil War and the emancipation of all enslaved Black Americans. And this day holds a profound significance in American history as it symbolizes the end of a dark chapter and the beginning of a journey toward equality and justice for all. And Juneteenth is a time to honor and celebrate the resilience, strength, and enduring spirit of Black Americans, recognizing their profound contributions to our culture, society, and the enduring fight for civil rights. And the City of Modesto acknowledges the importance of this historical event and stands committed to fostering a community where all residents are treated with dignity, equality, and respect. And Juneteenth provides a chance for reflection and education about past injustices and the ongoing efforts to build a society where freedom and justice for all are fully achieved. And now, therefore, I, Suze Wallen, Mayor, do hereby proclaim June 19th, 2024 as Juneteenth in the City of Modesto and encourage residents to join in celebrating this important day to honor the history and achievements of Black Americans and to continue working toward a future of equality and unity for all, dated this 11th day of June. Deborah Jones Sullivan, President of the King Kennedy Center Board of Directors, will accept this proclamation. Do you have a few comments? Please come forward. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Thank you so much for this proclamation. I really understand that. It says the 19th, but we also going to be celebrating, the King Kennedy Board of Directors is going to be celebrating at the Graceda Park on the 15th. The time will be from 11 to 5, and we are inviting every one of y'all to join us. Thank you so much.
All right. If you would have a flyer or some sort of information or email that you could send us so we can get it on our calendars,
Yes.
I would appreciate that very much. Thank you. All right. Are there any remarks from council members at this time regarding item 1? Jeremiah Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, President, for all that you do for the King Kennedy Board of Directors, Deborah Sullivan. And I also know that you'll be doing one in Riverbank as well this month. But I do want to echo the comments on having the Juneteenth festivities at Graceda Park, which is this coming Saturday, starting at 11 o'clock. Hopefully, those who are at home and those who are here will be able to come out and participate, and we will be sending information to some of our other elected officials. So thank you for being here tonight, and congratulations on the proclamation.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Please stay here for a moment. Thank you for being here this evening, and we appreciate your attendance tonight. I'll now ask council to join us in at the podium for the proclamation.
Thank you.
Yeah, y'all come up here. I know. Take 100 times.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I do. All right. Next on the agenda is item 2. Consider approving the appointment of Dewey Bedford as the Culture Commission representative to the Landmark Preservation Commission for 2024 with the term expiration of December 31st, 2024. Does council have any questions of staff? I will open this up to the public. Any members of the public that would like to speak regarding item 2? Seeing none, I will close public comments. Are there any comments from council members?
Mayor, you were very efficient in your remarks, and I didn't get a chance to ask the question, so if I may now.
Sure.
How does that work, that process work, when a commission appoints or makes a recommendation for an appointment for another commission? How does that differ to an appointment from the appointments committee, a recommendation from the appointments committee? Maybe someone can clarify that?
My understanding is that it's part of the culture, the Culture Commission to appoint a member of their committee to the Landmark Preservation Commission. And that's what this is, that's process has happened, and that's what we're voting on tonight. Would someone else like to clarify?
Yeah, we have several committees that they appoint members within that committee itself to serve on other boards. So it happens in like our community housing and redevelopment agency and several other committees that we have. It's up to that committee to make that selection, and it's basically just brought to the council for affirmation.
I see. Thank you.
All right. Yes, I'll open it up to the public.
On which one?
Item 2.
Oh, okay.
Any public comments regarding item 2? All right. Seeing none, any other comments from council members? Seeing none, I have a resolution approving the appointment of Dewey Bedford as the 2024 Culture Commission representative to the Landmark Preservation Commission with a term expiration of December 31st, 2024. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion from Vice Mayor Alvarez and a second from Councilmember Ricky. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Ricky? Aye. Councilmember Bavaro?
Aye.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Alvarez?
Aye.
And Mayor Zwollen.
Aye. So the motion carries unanimously. Next on the agenda is public comment. As noted on the agenda, public comment will only be in person. Zoom will still be available for viewing and wordly translation. Does anyone wish to speak on any item under public comment? This is for items not on the council agenda. Each person has 3 minutes to speak. Anyone wishing to address the City Council is asked to follow the rules of decorum. The rules of decorum are posted at the entrance of the chambers. I will call the names on the blue cards as I receive them. The first one is Danielle Morgart.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council members. My name is Danielle Morgart, and I'm here on behalf of Assemblyman Juan Alanis. We continue to be very busy in the legislature in Sacramento, but I just wanted to update that out of all the bills, the Assembly member has 15 in the Senate, ranging from education to retail theft to he has a cattle bill, so AB 2436, which supports cattle industry protections against losses through critical industry supported inspection services. And as always, if there's any questions, concerns, any way that our office can further assist, please don't hesitate on reaching out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next is Derek Castle.
Good evening, Mayor, Council members, City staff. As you know, I've been trying to figure out solutions for families experiencing homelessness. And I'm actually getting pretty excited because I can now see a clear way forward on that. But I'm also really concerned about a very different group, and that is the folk who currently sleep on our streets downtown and in our parks. It's been 7 months now since you approved bridge housing, but we're still struggling to move forward. I think one of our problems is that we're not thinking creatively enough. When we come up against problems that are difficult like this, often we need to think outside the box. For an example, I saw last week a Facebook posting by the director of the Salvation Army shelter where he reported that he had visited the bridge housing site at Yuba City. In this location, the city has purchased ordinary, inexpensive tough sheds, enough to give 50 unsheltered folk a place off the streets. Now, tough sheds are clearly not ideal for some nights of the year, but most of the time they're fine. Personally, I spent every night as a teenager sleeping at least in a tough shed with a Jimi Hendrix poster up on the wall. And yes, some nights I had to have the comforter and 4 blankets, but it really wasn't that bad. Tough sheds may not be ideal, but at least Yuba City is doing something that is way better than folks sleeping on the streets. Yuba City's not waiting for the perfect solution or the perfect amount of funding. They're just getting on with it. Tough sheds are really cheap. For a small one, it's only $2,800. We could purchase 150 of them for $400,000. That's only 1/5 of what you've already set aside, the $2 million you've set aside for purchasing cabins. But even if then you still didn't want to have tough sheds out in the open, we can still think creatively outside the box and maybe consider the proposal I gave you a while ago, and that was to use warehouses. By putting tough sheds inside warehouses, you completely eliminate the extreme temperatures problem. As I pointed out at the time, warehouses are very inexpensive to lease. I checked the listings this morning. There are at least 2 that are available for 60 cents a square foot and a whole bunch of them for 80 cents a square foot. This would be way cheaper than what we are considering for the bridge housing at 9th and D. And warehouses have a whole bunch of other advantages as well. We can do this, Modesto. We just need to want to do it badly enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Todd Aronson.
Good evening, Todd Aronson, CEO, Visit Modesto. I wanted to provide an update for activities so far in 2024, and thank you all for your support. Visit Modesto starts each year with the Almond Blossom Cruise, and the results for 24 were awesome. Over 250 million media impressions worldwide. That's an advertising equivalent of over $2 million. Though hotel occupancy was down to last year, as it was all over the state of California, overall visitor traffic, day trippers, was up 90% to last year, with spending up 10% to $141 per person. One local business tracked spending this year at 60% better than their best summer week ever. And for the first time, we had bus tours of the region, selling out 3 of 4 weekends. We even had a waiting list. We had a bus follow us one day. They liked it so much. Overall, it was a great success. In April, we created Modesto's first ever citywide Garage Fest. Our team thought 150 garages was an aggressive stretch goal. We had to cut off registrations at 260. April 20th was a stellar day. Visitor to resident ratios exceeded 21% on that day. That means 21 out of every 100 people in town traveled from more than 60 miles away to be here. Some neighborhoods actually doubled the visitation percentage of Vintage Fair Mall, which is always number 1. The result, visitors spending in April was up year over year by $30 per person. May turned out to be a remarkably busy month. The first week I was in LA at US Travel's largest event of the year. We had over 60 business appointments, 1/3 of them with international media who wanted stories about the other California. That's Modesto. Other appointments were with travel operators interested to include Modesto on future visits for travelers from the UK, Germany, Japan, Korea, and China. The last 2 weeks of May, I was in Japan, sponsored by our Sister Cities program in Kurume. I set up sales calls for that second week in Japan with my peers at Visit California, both in Osaka and Tokyo. We even hosted an online Shibika olive oil tasting with their master sensory analyst at an event in Tokyo with 20 operators. Just yesterday, less than 2 weeks after that event, we received a lead from JTB, one of Japan's largest tour operators for events next year, using our agricultural partners and a day in Yosemite. So even though Visit California is experiencing its weakest travel demand in recent history, for Modesto, it's been a great year. Our future looks bright. Thank you for allowing me the time to share.
Thank you. Next is Jonathan Williams.
Brittany Leanna Chavez, Estrella Chavez, whichever way she decided to say it. Paul Chavez, Jr. Justice for Paul Chavez and justice for Trevor Seaver. 2 wrongful deaths that the city of Modesto are still attempting to cover up. I just want to start like I always do with the 3 names. Paul David Chavez III, Abraham, and Josiah. Paul was accompanied by his wife. May she rest in peace. His 3 beautiful boys and a whole gang of family. He did nothing wrong. He had no weapon. He wasn't acting sporadic. He wasn't showing threatening signs. He wanted one thing and one thing only: to be helped, to be held. He wanted someone to understand what he was going through at that time. He wanted to be told that everything was going to be okay, is what he wanted to be told. He was scared of you monsters, not because he was doing anything wrong, but because he knew all about how you people work. I myself struggle from mental issues, severe depression, severe anxiety. You can see my hands shaking right now, of course. Bipolar disorder and ADHD. I've had multiple run-ins with the police myself. Why did you not shoot and kill me when I had a knife in my hand? Or better yet, a baseball bat in my hand? Why wasn't I shot and killed when I physically threatened an officer to his face and all he did was laugh it off like I was just an idiot? I truly want to know the difference, because we both had jobs. I'm not even going to say that. We both had wives. That was a couple months ago, but hey, man, she's with him now. We both loved our lives the same damn way. We had goals, we had dreams. Why not me? Was it the fact that he had kids? Was it the fact that the officers dealt with my situation were properly trained? Unlike yours, unfortunately. I'll let you decide that. At the end of the day, we lost a father, a mother, a husband, a daughter, a brother, a son, 2 cousins, an uncle, an aunt, a nephew, a niece, a grandson, a granddaughter, and 2 best friends of mine. Lastly, they were both human beings. It's not okay with my family, nor will it ever be, of course. But I just want to take my side note and let the fact know that rest in peace, Brittany Leanna Estrella Chavez. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Next is Patrick.
Hey guys, I haven't been here a while. I'd have major back surgery, so, couldn't come. Hey Nick, remember whenever you called Brittany stupid for how she felt?
I do.
Everybody over there does. How you feel now, bud?
I do.
Sue, she cried for you to help her. Ultimately, less than 2 years later, she's dead because of a broken heart. Not a single one of you care. This guy can't even look at me. It's real chicken poop. I wanted to play something. This is the last Father's Day Paul was alive.
Yo, what up, bro? I was just calling to tell you happy Father's Day, man. Holler back. All right.
That was my best friend. I don't get to talk to him anymore because Modesto's police don't know what they're doing. Next, I'm going to play this one.
Okay. Happy Father's Day, Patrick. Love you.
That's Paul and Brittany's kids. Now neither one of their parents are alive because Modesto. That's wild. That's wild. That shit blows my mind. It makes me crazy. I can't even believe it. With that said, I'm going to play this, and then I really don't have nothing else to say to you guys. Let alone look at you guys. It's pathetic.
Yeah. Don't go there. Don't go there, Brittany.
You hear that? That woman screaming is now dead. You hear that? I mean, the video's here if you want to see it, but I know you guys won't. Peace.
Next is Steve.
It's absolutely insane the amount of disrespect, harassment, and abuse I've received from you specific people since I've been coming here to advocate for victims of police violence. The reason I bring it up is because it is exactly consistent with everything about the way this body operates, the way you, Sue, have handled problems. Remember when your council member literally threatened to assault me in front of you and Brandon Gillespie, our police chief? I talked to you on the phone. Mr. Sanchez, You refuse to do anything about it, even though you agree with me on a lot of my major points. It's absolutely disgusting, the amount of disrespect that I've seen every last one of you. Yes, you in particular. Levy, on my time. Okay,
Likewise.
pause my time.
Eric? Eric, please.
Professional, Eric. Likewise.
Please, Eric. Go ahead, Stephen.
Shame on you. Likewise, fine. Can you shut up and let me talk? Okay? Because Brittany is dead now. And you guys don't give a shit. You obviously want to pick a fight with me instead of like taking the moment to recognize the value of a community member that we've lost. Brittany was appreciated and loved by a lot of people, obviously not you people. Yeah, Nick, I saw you call her stupid. Don't insult my intelligence. Some of you guys need to grow the hell up. I ask you to look past the potentially problematic, Eurocentric, and patriarchal attitudes in this poem, but John Donne did write a very beautiful poem that I think is fitting. It shows how we in the community feel about when your pigs murder our neighbors, compared to how you feel. You're obviously way more offended that I called your cops pigs than you are the fact that they murdered people that I know. That shows your character. Nevertheless, no man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a cloud be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as if a manor of thy friends or thine own were. Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never sinned to know for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. And no, Brandon Gillespie, you sack of shit, that's not a threat. It is a reminder of the moral position that you folks occupy. Thank you for your time. I would like to dedicate this next 20 seconds to a moment of silence for Brittany Estrella Chavez.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Next is Teresa Clutter.
You know, I thought the worst day was July 14th, 2022. I thought that was our worst. I thought that was the hardest thing our family would ever have to deal with. I never in a million years would think I'd also be standing here and wearing a shirt of my daughter! The pain that Samuel Adam Muncie has caused our family is so tremendous. I wouldn't even wish it on any of you. My daughter fought hard. She fought hard for her husband and her family for justice. She gave it everything she could until she couldn't. I don't blame God. I blame Sam. My daughter couldn't take it anymore. The pressure, the stress, losing her best friend of 16 years, her husband. And now there are 3 little boys. My fight was, she has to raise these boys alone with the help of us. And now we've got to raise these boys because they don't have parents now. Because of what Sam Muncie did that day, Sue. Nobody wants to take accountability. It doesn't affect you. But if you just had a glimpse of it, if it just touched your heart just a little, you would see the agony and the pain that our family has to endure again. What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? We rely on this city, this community, this council, you mayor. We rely on you. And what did we get? Disrespect, laughed at, a pretend board that does absolutely nothing but twiddle their thumbs because the police back there control it still. You got something in place, but nothing's happening. When is the change gonna come? When are we gonna do better? People deserve better. My grandsons are 10 years old, 8 years old, 7 years old. How do you explain it to them? How do you explain that their father was killed for trying to walk home because he had a damn trailer hitch in his hand? That he never threatened a person. He never raised an arm. He didn't cuss at anybody. And he was shot and killed in front of us. And we were treated like shit during the process. And then my daughter doesn't wake up one day. May 17th, she doesn't wake up. What are we supposed to do, Sue? Who's helping us? Who is helping us? My daughter yelled for you to please help us, and you guys didn't do shit. What are you gonna do now? I'm gonna leave with this. There are 6 things that Jehovah hates, 7 things he detests. Haunting eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. They are detestable to the Lord. At the end of the day, my God is just, and we will get justice. But until that happens, what are you going to do to change so other families don't have to go through this nightmare? I just want to wake up and have my family back. I don't want to have to raise my grandkids and try to have memories of them that they had create. It's not right. None of it is right, and it's unfair, and you guys need to do better. I know my daughter's with the Lord. I know that because I know where her faith was. That doesn't mean I don't miss her flesh tremendously, and the pain is unbearable at times. You need to do better for others, since you couldn't do better for us.
All right. Thank you for your comments. All right. Next, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but it looks like Dayanara Estrella.
Thank you very much. So I'm
You're
here
welcome.
on behalf of my niece, Brittany Estrella, which rest in peace. I'm not going to take a lot of time to sit here and, speak about you guys or what the city council does or whatnot, but I'm not a resident from Modesto. Honestly, I've never really cared for the city. However, my children live here. My family lives here. And one of the things that Brittany had is she had a voice from when she was very young. And one of the things is that she always spoke from the heart. Yeah, did we agree with how she spoke? Not all the time, but she spoke out of anger, out of frustration, and sometimes what she did was she spoke deeply from the heart, whether that was if we agreed with it or not. And as a mother, having children and having family members, both in law enforcement in the city of Modesto and city of Stockton, it's like I feel like I'm torn, I'm confused. to which direction we should choose to go to. Do we call the cops? Do we not call the cops? When I first walked in and I looked back there at the police officers, it broke my heart because Brittany's father, that she loved very much, was in law enforcement. And the pain that she endured, I'm sure she was torn between, because Brittany always did what was right. And through the experience that she went through, I'm sure it just tore her to pieces of what was right. Her grandfather, speaking of law enforcement and the years that he served, not only as the sheriff, but also in the military. She just was, I'm sure, confused, torn, frustrated, angry, and I feel like that's how I feel. My kids, the same thing. Do you go out, to the stores, something happens, do you call the law enforcement? I just feel that, she was heartbroken. She's caused a lot of pain. And us as parents, if you are parents, you have to put yourself in that position and think about, what are you doing? Are you doing something that's right, or are you just going against it? And I just ask that, you guys just consider everything that's she's gone through. She's no longer here, and she can't be the voice. So we will be the voice for her. And I just want to say that's it. Thank you so much, and may my niece rest in peace. Thank
you. Next is Ramon Rodriguez.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members. For the past 2 years following the incident with Trevor Seaver, I've been constantly telling to do something in Modesto Police Department to change the ways so that officers cannot do any more of Grand Theft Auto type activities that will result in more deaths and injuries and lawsuits and cities losing millions of dollars. And the 2 months after Trevor Seaver's death, another officer beat a harmless person who just came home from work, Alonso Nunes. He was severely beaten by Dustin Espinosa, and I've told everyone that he committed a felony, multiple felonies. Even I wrote to then DA Flatiger about Espinosa's actions and pointed out the corruption and the stench in the Modesto Police Department, and asking her to do something, but all I know is that she threw away the letter. And after that, Paul Chavez's death was inexcusable. It was disgusting. Muncie did what Lamatia did. Muncie did not use proper procedures to handle the situation. He had his gun ready and shot. And that caused immense trauma to the family of Paul Chavez, and you guys did not do anything. When Brittany was here all the time advocating for change, advocating for justice, and what you guys did? Nothing. You just ignored, you just insulted, you just keeping the status quo alive while you have people crying for help, crying for justice every week. And you threatened, and some of you council members threatened to harm a member of the public. Shame. But what I learned is that when you had the pay raises, you just gladly took the pay raises. But what about us? We're struggling economically. We're struggling with crumbling infrastructures. Last council meeting, you have the neighbors who have issues with the parking in the cul-de-sac. You didn't do nothing. Or what about the elderly woman who has her home molded, but when your city inspector says that the house is fine, you didn't do anything. So with this, Muncie has caused another death. And Brittany is no longer with us because it is Muncie's fault. He did this. He should have known better, but he caused all the trauma and the pain, and that he's going to have to deal with this for the rest of his life. And you guys just sat there and do nothing. And that's a huge shame for the community. Thank you.
Giancarlo?
Hi. First, I do want to start that, I do appreciate that Sue and Joe, y'all did meet with us, and I want to share appreciation. But I do want to call out some council members here who have refused to. For example, January 9th, we came in talking about the issue of police brutality, and in the live recordings, 31 minutes and 31 seconds in, you, Mr. Alvarez, had said, Mayor, if I may, can we please get this gentleman's contact information so we could follow up with him? You never followed up with us. We emailed you to meet with us, and we heard nothing. We came back March 12th, okay? And again, in the live recording, I told you, Mr. Alvarez, I think you got our contact info, but we haven't heard from you. Are you willing to meet with us? You acknowledged the email, and you said, it stated that I committed sometime in January. I don't think I ever said that, but I'm happy to meet with you. I just don't like things done in my court that aren't true. First of all, this is not a court. This is a city council meeting, and you are not a judge. You are a council member, okay? Not only that, though, but 3 of us have emailed you, Chris Ricky, and you have either sent us a copy and paste response and ignored us, or outright never responded, okay? And with that, it's this outrageous neglect, avoidance, and excuses that we've heard, and how intentionally disconnected some of y'all are with the residents of the city, that directly to connect to the neglect that Brittany faced. And now look at where she is, okay? As we can see, police brutality is a problem in the city, and it has affected Brittany's family. It will forever impact Brittany's mom and their 3 children. Yet some of y'all have refused to meet with us about it, have continued to neglect us, okay? And that is real shame on y'all. The rest of this time I'm going to use just as a moment of silence for Brittany. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next is Manuela.
Hello. I had only met Brittany one time, and even prior to meeting her, I had heard her story, heard the story of Scott Muncie murdering her husband, Paul. And the night when I had finally got to meet Brittany, I met her 3 beautiful boys. I am so thankful I got to meet her, and I am so sad that I will not be meeting her again on this earth. What I had promised Teresa, I've gotten to know the family during this time, is that even though Brittany is no longer here, even though Paul is no longer here, even though Trevor Seaver is no longer here, we're going to continue to fight for justice for them. I cannot believe that these 3 sweet boys have 2 parents gone, all because a cop in Modesto murdered him. I cannot believe Darlene is going through, and her family is going through, because a cop named Joseph Lamantia murdered Trevor Seaver. This is a pattern. This is disgusting. This is not a safe community. If the cops who are supposed to keep people safe don't, what's the point of them? We are not safe in this town. We have grieving families. I cannot believe that Modesto City Council is okay with this, because if you weren't okay with it, something would be done. But no, cops continue to get more money for ridiculous things that they do not need, getting grants for things that are not even really happening in the city. We need grants that are going to help people who are unhoused, to help people with mental health issues, to help people live a life where they're not surviving, but they're thriving. But this city doesn't care about that. If you did, you would take the money away from the cops and do something about the issues that are in Modesto. You don't keep giving money to murderers. They do not understand de-escalation tactics. They do not understand mental health situations. If they did, two people that I've mentioned tonight, Trevor and Paul, would not be dead. And Brittany would not be dead from a broken heart. I cannot believe somebody younger than me has died because a city, because a police department murdered her husband. And it overtook her. And then to hear that you called her stupid, and then to hear that people disregarded her, it's just disgusting. And I really do hope, I pray we will continue to fight, that they will have justice here, that you guys will do something. I've got 4 seconds. May she rest in power.
Thank you. Next is Alyssa.
Good evening, Council. I just wanted to point my hat. I'm the mental health coordinator with Stockton Stands. I met with the city manager, city attorney, and mayor. Nice to see you again. I wanted to point a record that at 5:57 p.m. today, Eric Alvarez broke the Brown Act by disrupting public comments tonight. And I wanted to talk about the continuity of protocol within this jurisdiction. If you can't hold your own council member accountable to the Brown Act, why should we trust you to keep the community safe? .222 on the clock. Rest in peace, Brittany.
All right. Next is Kevin McClarty.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, City Manager. I want to speak to you about the ACE train and the transit center, if I may. I have several questions which I've written pertaining to the underground wires and so forth, the problem that is associated with the fact that the transit center is not going to open now. Number one, why are the underground wires preventing the transit center from being used? 2, why is it going to take until 2030 to remedy the underground wire problem? 3, who needs to be held responsible for the oversight of these wires? 4, will the city recoup the $5.23 million that it spent on this project from somebody? And if so, how long will it take? Number 5, will a temporary solution be built under the Needham overpass? If so, what will that cost? A temporary station. Yeah, will a temporary station be built under the Needham overpass? And if so, what will that cost? Number 6, is Modesto going to get bypassed again like it has been bypassed for everything else? Number 7, is Modesto going to allow this travesty to permanently derail our longtime plans to provide frequent, reliable commuter rail to the Bay Area. Giving in and giving up has been Modesto's mantra for decades. Can we adopt a winning mantra for a change? Thank you.
You're welcome. Next is Sebastian Jones, and I have a statement to make. So, Mr. Jones, before you start speaking, it is my understanding that you have requested an accommodation. Mr. Jones, I'm speaking to you. We are sorry to learn that you are having difficulties communicating with us.
Hold on, Mayor.
I
ain't requesting that. You at fault. I'm going to speak freely. So don't say I requested some accommodation, because I was looking at 3 minutes.
So I just wanted to finish my statement.
I'm gonna get it straight.
Accordingly, after going through the accommodation process with the city as required by law, you will be provided 5 minutes for your public comment. Please feel free to go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I've been getting 5 minutes for the last 8, 9 years. You guys took it from me when I was going off on one of your council. I let people know because I'm real.
Mr. Jones, you need to speak to the council.
Okay, well, they know what I'm talking about. I just want to send my regards to this family because I've been with them and I understand.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
I understand. They real. And you guys got to understand when you go through things. Emotions. Man, it's heavy. Well, you know, Mr. Jones, speak freely. Good afternoon, Mayor. And my city councilman, I know you ain't seen me down in a while, but I am still who I am. But before I say anything, I want to go to a man named David Wright. David, you know, some time ago, about 2 years ago, I think it's been that long, I said something, read the wrong article. It's a lot of David Wrights here. And I want to ask you, I have to do what's right. My granddaddy was a bishop in church. My daddy was a preacher. Forgiveness. Because I have to do what God loves. See, a lot of these people up there, they don't do that. Because they shame or acting like Donald Trump. But I'm going to say what I got to say. Now, the reason I come down here, and thank you, Mayor, for allowing me my 2 extra minutes. It took almost 1.5 years. And that's sad, a person disabled like me. I never thought I was disabled my vocal cord, but it is. Never disrespect a handicapped person. That's why I ain't been down here, because I've been hurting. And y'all know I'm a soldier, and I'm going to stand for righteousness. Now, let me get to the point. David, did you accept my forgiveness? You can't talk.
This is public comment time, and this is what I insist.
All you got to do is nod
It's your
his head.
time.
Mayor, all
And
you
our
gotta do is
time to
nod his
listen,
head.
so feel free to go ahead.
There we go. Y'all know I'm going to talk back. Well, anyway, he nodded his head. We good. Well, I'm down here for a reason. Is the Dr. Martin Luther King building is, here we are being disrespected for many years. You guys know for well over 11, 12, 13 years, I've been fighting for the honor of Dr. King. Dr. King is a man that stands alone. He doesn't share his name. I remember Perfecto was down there and said, my people would like to keep Robert Kennedy's name on that building. Now we got another name. The Modesto Collaborative. This is what we talk about, this systemic racism. Do you see what y'all doing? Y'all moving Dr. King out the way. There's 2 names. Robert Kennedy. Now the people gonna grow up and say, go down to the collaborative board. Go down to the collaborative building. And King doesn't mean anything. His name must be spelled out. It is a disrespect when I see you guys every January the 15th talking with Dr. King and this and this. Y'all need to quit. Don't even show up because you're disrespecting him. Because his name is not on that building says Dr. King. You only got his last name. When I talked to his son in Manteca about a year and a half ago, he said, really? I said, yeah. Your dad's name is just half King. My name could have been King, and I was just community activist. Mayor, I'm asking you, would you put this on the agenda like the other mayor did for me to name in that park? We're going on 2 years as the Dr. Martin Luther King Park, June 18th, 2022, and I brought you $8.5 million. I'm going to bring you $25 million if you change that name, and we'll tear down that building. I got a statue to put up. Y'all holding me up. My time is running out. But Mayor, put it on the agenda. Don't let people grow up and say the collaborative building. You guys better wake up. Y'all don't disrespect my Dr. King. I'm gonna keep talking until something moves.
Next is Sebastian Cervantes.
What you say? You owe me money.
Oh, thanks. It's only Mr. Jones, though. Yeah. There's only one Mr. Jones.
Hello, I'm Sebastian, and it's been a while since I've been here, also with supporting with Brittany. It had to be a year now, which is a long time that Brittany has been fighting and trying to hear her voice, her experience, her struggles, trying to be heard to all of you, and to see that there was no justice whatsoever, to see that the police are still freely roaming around even though they murdered people intentionally. I'm not really surprised. I grew up seeing my community being oppressed by police and seeing no justice done whatsoever. And I'm not really surprised that politicians like you don't even care either. I wouldn't be surprised if you're glad that Brittany's not even here either, considering that it's just like a straight face to you. And then this bozo over here is trying to argue with Steve, even though he's been grieving at the same time as much as Brittany over here. Modesto has a population of 200,000 people. And coming here, seeing how many empty seats there are, just shows how right I am that you politicians don't care about the people. You don't care about the working class. You don't go out of your way to meet them. And if you did, they don't care about you, don't care what you have to say, because no matter how many times you try to show face, the people know that you're just faking it and just trying to use us to uplift yourselves. I'm going to use the rest of the time for a moment of silence for Brittany, for Paul, to all the families that have been oppressed by the system.
Francisco Moran, name him, man, name him, yeah, come on.
We love you, Britt. I know you'd be here today if you could be. She's here with us.
I said moment of silence. Why are you typing over there? What is more important than someone's death?
I do not have any additional blue cards. Is there anyone else wishing to come forward to speak under public comment? And these are for items not on the agenda this evening. All right, next on the agenda is consent items. An item may be removed from consent and discussed at the request of a member of the public or council member. Is there anyone on the council that would like a consent item removed for further discussion? Seeing none, is there anyone in the public that would like an item removed from consent for further discussion or comment? Seeing none, will the city clerk please read the consent items?
Item 3, consider approving the minutes for the June 4th, 2024 council meeting. Item 4, consider approving an agreement with Amera National Community Services LLC, DBA Amera NAT, to manage the city's loan portfolio for loans funded through the state and federal programs for a total amount not to exceed $434,000 over 5 years. Item 5, consider approving on-call agreements for construction inspection services with Dillon and Murphy Engineering, West Yost & Associates, and TRC Engineering Incorporated for a 1-year agreement with 2 one-year extension options for an estimated annual amount of $74,500 per consultant and a total amount not to exceed $223,500 per consultant over 3 years. Item 6, consider accepting the Highway Village Straighten and Replace Water Mains project as complete, releasing securities, releasing payments totaling $3,909,585 to Roof Construction Incorporated at Atwater, and authorizing the city clerk to file a notice of completion. Item 7 has been removed from consent for a separate vote. Item 8, consider accepting the rebid upgrade traffic signals 2017 CML 5059 project as complete, releasing securities, releasing payments totaling $857,281 to St. Francis Electric LLC of San Leandro, and authorizing the city clerk to file a notice of completion. Item 9 has been removed from consent for a separate vote. Item 10, consider accepting the monthly investment report for March 2024. Item 11, consider accepting an informational report for the April 2024 accounts payable payment register and void report. Item 12, consider approving the purchase of a new public bidding solution subscription with OpenGov Incorporated out of San Francisco, California, in the amount of $276,136 over 3 years. Item 13, consider approving an automatic aid agreement with Westport Fire Protection District to provide fire-related emergency response to the Regional Water Recycling Facility Jennings campus located at 7007 Jennings Road, and authorizing the city manager or his designee to execute the agreement. Item 14, consider approving a First Amendment to the agreement with LDA Partners Incorporated for additional tasks related to construction documentation for the Dryden Clubhouse renovation project, and for a new total amount not to exceed $621,500. Item 15, consider approving the Second Amendment, increasing the agreement amount with Brightview Golf Maintenance Incorporated in partnership with Kemper Sports Management for golf management and maintenance services by $175,202 from $13,987,536 to a new total amount of $14,162,738. Item 16, consider approving the agreement for polygraph examination services to Assurance Polygraph LLC out of Castro Valley, California, for a total amount not to exceed $538,260 over 5 years. Item 17, consider approving an agreement with Sigma Tactical Wellness out of Austin, Texas, for comprehensive heart health assessments for first responders for a total not to exceed $115,464. Item 18, consider approving the submission of grant applications to the State Water Resources Control Board Small Community Funding Program Clean Water, Wastewater, Safe and Affordable Funding for Equity and Resilience Program for the Stanislaus Elementary School Water and Sewer Line Extension Projects. Item 19, consider accepting the emergency bypass for screw pumps repairs as complete, and authorizing all payments to Rain for Rent out of Stockton, California, for a total cost of $204,628. Item 20, consider approving the plans and specs for the Well 312 Treatment and Flush Eye Improvements Project, approving the bid and awarding a construction contract to TSI Engineering Incorporated of North Highlands, California, and the amount of $4,060,786, authorizing $487,295, 12% in contingency if needed, for a total payment amount not to exceed $4,548,081. Item 21 is removed from consent for a separate vote. Item 22, consider approving an engineering services agreement with Corolla Engineers Incorporated out of Sacramento for the Regional Water Recycling Facility Sutter Campus Master Plan Relocation Project in the amount not to exceed $1,966,703.
Thank you. May I have a motion for the consent calendar as read?
Motion to approve all items except for 7, 9, and 21.
All right, I have a motion by Councilmember Wright. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Ricky. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Ricky?
Aye.
Councilmember Bavaro?
Aye.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Alvarez?
Aye.
And Mayor Swallen.
Aye, so it carries unanimously. Will you please read items 7 and 9?
Item 7, consider accepting the Pallandale Neighborhood Pavement Maintenance and Virginia Corridor Trail Maintenance Project as complete, releasing securities, releasing payments totaling $1,956,556 to American Pavement Systems Incorporated out of Modesto, and authorizing the city clerk to file a notice of completion. Item 9, consider accepting the Bridgemore Avenue and Orangeburg Avenue Pavement Rehabilitation Project as complete, releasing securities, releasing payments totaling $7,712,644 to United Pavement Maintenance Incorporated out of Houston, California, and authorizing the city clerk to file a notice of completion.
All right, may I have a motion for those two items?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilmember Wright, second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Ricky. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Ricky?
Aye.
Councilmember Bavaro?
Aye.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Alvarez?
Aye.
And Mayor Swallen.
Aye, so it carries 6-0 with Councilmember Escudia recused. Next item, consent item 21, please.
Consider
So
approving.
Jeremiah, you need to scoot back, please. Thank you.
Item 21, consider approving an engineering services agreement with BKF Engineers out of Modesto for the final design of the Highway 99 Water Mains Crossing Improvements Project in the amount of $491,321 plus $49,132 in additional services if needed, for an agreement total not to exceed $540,453.
Do I have a motion for item 20, consent item 21?
Motion to approve.
Approved by Councilmember Scudia Brayton, second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Wright. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Ricky?
Aye.
Councilmember Bavaro?
Aye.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Alvarez?
Aye.
And Mayor Swallen.
Aye. Motion carries 6-0 with Councilmember Williams recused. Thank you. Next on the agenda is council comments and reports. Do any council members have any comments and reports? Vice Mayor Alvarez.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to comment on a couple things tonight, graffiti and then some of the comments made by the public. Graffiti was a really good turnout this year. It was perfect weather, really great turnout by the community. I think there was about 1,000 cars approximately. My family, my nieces and nephews really enjoyed it, and it was just very well organized. So my hat's off to the organizers and all the volunteers who were part of making that a reality. I also want to take the moment to bring some light on the comments that were made by the independent group that Steve Allen, John Carlos Cerna of Ceres, California, and the gentleman named Sebastian that was also accompanying them. They are members of the group that's totally separate of the Chavez Estrella family. And this group will intentionally and has intentionally and freely lied and proliferated misinformation and mistruths with intent to defame and slander my colleagues and I, not all of us, but some of us, on social media, as they have done numerous times on Facebook. I want to state for the record, and I wish they were here, but I'm sure they'll run this tape back. The true reasons my office personally refuses to meet with this group, and I've also communicated this on record via email, is because of the nefarious tactics they employ in communicating their points to the public on matters that have a direct impact on black and brown communities that I'm inherently a part of. And these are white folks speaking to me as if I'm not affected by this. for the last 100 years that my bloodline has been in California, Alvarez. This is totally upside down. And I freely meet with my constituents on all matters pertaining to our district, District 2, and our city. What I do not and what I will not do is put myself in a position to be intentionally and verbally accosted and condescended. If you want to achieve any advocacy goals, these are smart folks. Steve Allen, John Carlos Cerna, the other gentlemen, they're very smart individuals. I would recommend adopting some diplomacy in their efforts. I'm happy to meet with direct family members of the Chavez and Estrella family, but I cannot and I will not comment on any ongoing legal proceedings. That is the true root of what they're trying to convey. We legally cannot comment on ongoing legal proceedings. Does not mean we don't care about police brutality. We have 3 Latinos up here, 1 African American. How is this council, in what world do we not care? We're up here because we care the most. We take these shots, we take these punches because we care. That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
All right. Councilmember Ricky.
Thanks, Mayor. I want to echo some of Councilmember Alvarez's sentiments here, especially in regards to graffiti this week. It was just really a wonderful event. It just was a great example of the community coming together. All the different, you had hot rods, you had low riders, you had the whole rainbow of this community together out in that street. And it was just really special. And to me, that's what Modesto is, and that's what we stand for up here. Tonight's just been hard. But I want to talk about some other stuff. Change is hard in government. That's true. But that's why I appreciate it so much when I get feedback from the community and the city acts. And so an example of that is just I really appreciate the Parks and Rec Department and them opening the Greatest Griseda pool to the public on select weekends. So if that's something you're interested in, getting your kids out there because it's hot out there, just keep an eye on our social media. I'm sure they'll announce the weekend dates that the pool's going to be open this summer, and I'm looking forward to them opening the Griseda pool on regular weekend hours in coming summers, hopefully. I also want to report on a wonderful meeting I had with the College Area Neighborhood Association a couple weeks ago, talking about how to improve our community. We talked a lot about improving Griseda Park and the Virginia Corridor and even Roseburg Square. But I think probably our biggest focus was talking about how to improve Enslin Park. Enslin has really struggled over the years, especially with issues like crime, drugs, prostitution. So we're really looking forward to increased ranger patrols in Enslin Park to address safety concerns and reduce homelessness. And we're also looking forward to kind of that staffing up so that we have a consistent ranger presence in Enslin and Griseda until kind of the lawlessness is eliminated. And I also think it's really important that we take back the space by establishing different activities that people can do in the park, like a community garden in Enslin to engage local residents, maybe putting in a bocce ball court, cornhole, horseshoes, expanding some seating areas, creating space for food trucks so that, so warm summer afternoons can be spent, in the shade, under the shade of those big trees, with your family. So I look forward to working with Parks and Rec more to bring some of these visions alive. Finally, in terms of police reform, I think it's important that we recognize the work that the police department and this city council has done so far. I mean, this council set up the police review board, but it also set up an independent auditor to increase accountability, and this system's working, and it's improving policing in Modesto. Part of what we have to do as a council is taking good ideas and make them reality, and that's hard to do. And I'll continue to work with members of the community who are dedicated to making Modesto better by giving recommendations that can result in the change that we want. Our priority, at least my priority, I don't want to speak for everybody else in this dais, but I think we're pretty unified here. Improving safety is our priority. And I'm pleased and I'm proud with our progress. Thanks, Mayor.
You're welcome. Councilmember Scudia-Brayton.
Thank you, Mayor. Wanted to address for community events I attended this past week. All were made available by the generous funding support from the City of Modesto, so I'm proud that that was made available. But the first event was a collaboration with the Modesto Chamber of Commerce, the Vintage Fair Mall, as well as Visit Modesto. And that was an event that I was surprised Mr. Todd Aronson didn't reference it in his successes with the Visitor Center. And that was the recognition of Jerry Givens, who entered a photo contest that was titled Almond Blossom Photo. And many people entered it, and a competition ensued, and Jeremy was identified as the winner. So I know Councilmember Williams also was in attendance at this event, so it was an honor to celebrate him, and he highlighted the beauty that is what we showcase here in the Central Valley in City of Modesto, and that's our almond blossom. So it was lovely that it was captured in a photo that was, I don't know how big the photo wall was, the background display, but you all can see it if you go by the mall. It's on the outside wall of Dick's Sporting Goods. So I encourage you to go by and take a look at it. It's pretty awesome. Had a blast at graffiti parade. It was so great. It was so community, and just so glad to be part of it. Thank you for all the volunteers who made that happen. And I know it was hundreds of volunteers and organizations and community leadership. So that was just the pride of Modesto. Thank you all for working so hard this entire past week to make that happen. Also today, I was accompanied by the mayor, Councilmember Bavaro, and Councilmember Wright. We attended the police ceremony where we celebrated and swore in 7 new officers. What a cool thing. These officers come to the City of Modesto with such amazing skills. They graduated from the academy. They have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and aspirations just to do so good for our city. And now they're one of our MPD officers, and just delighted to have them. There was 5 males and 2 females, all just very eager to be part of our MPD family and to contribute to the improved safety of our community in the City of Modesto. And lastly, I joined the mayor and Councilmember Williams and Wright in an event that was put on by the Center of Human Services. They had a groundbreaking for an outpatient facility that they're doing, and this is just another beautiful example of how a public and private sector partnership helps our community. This, with funding support and through this collaboration, this outpatient facility is going to help with mental health services and substance use treatment for individuals between the ages of 0 to 25. So that's that one challenging group that impact our homeless community and just impact our community in general. And now we have this center that's available to them. So again, so glad to be part of that event. That's it. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. First Wednesday night, there was the Legend of the Cruise that took place right here in our Plaza, 10th Street. On that particular evening, when those who were being honored, the council was surprised with an award from the Legends of the Cruise Committee, particularly Chris Murphy and his team. With the rest of them, they gave us a plaque, which we were very thankful for. We didn't really deserve it. We just really wanted to do what's best for our city, and we're thankful for what they did for us. On Friday night, Kiwanis, and before I start that, I'd say on behalf of all of my colleagues, the Kiwanis Club of North Modesto, we are very thankful that the City of Modesto continues to partner with us, and we are so thankful for all of those that registered. We had 1,372 registrants. We actually had on that day, on Saturday, we had another 41. Then we had 220 additional cars that were they were over 80. They were called they were the newer cars on Sunday. However, every bit of the money that we raised will go right back into this community. We did have an attendance of about maybe 10 to 11,000 people within the last 2 days from Saturday and Sunday. We're very thankful to the community. We're thankful to all those who registered. We're thankful to all the spectators. We are definitely thankful to the police department and all the surrounding police departments that came to help keep the peace. Things went well. There weren't any major issues. Of course, with a group that size, there's always going to be something, but we are thankful to the City of Modesto as well as the police department. Also, Juneteenth, you already heard earlier today, is this Saturday, and it is the Emancipation Proclamation, and we do look forward to seeing anyone and everyone who possibly can make it to Crescenta Park at 11 o'clock. There will be, of course, your traditional African-American dishes and items for sale and things of that nature, along with music. Hopefully we can get all of you to come that can come. That is this Saturday, 11 o'clock to 5 at Crescenta Park. And it is a free event. Thank you very much, Mayor.
All right. Vice Mayor Alvarez, I did see your name up there again, but I removed it. But okay, just wanted to clarify if you needed to speak again. Any other comments from council? I just have a few comments. Also with the Modesto Police Department welcoming and promotion ceremony, there were at least 2 rangers and 2 new chat officers. So, and then several other staff members for the police department, in addition to the 7 sworn officers. So that was really exciting. This morning at Clergy Council, and I want to use the right title, Adams, Captain, that's what I thought, was there with me today, and we received a comment from a member of the Clergy Council regarding an interaction that he witnessed with our rangers at Crescenta Park, and he could not say enough positive comments about the professionalism that they demonstrated and the way that they interacted with the people that were there that they were trying to deal with. So that was really good to hear. Also regarding the Center for Human Services, the new outpatient center for 0 to 25-year-olds, these are real services that will improve the lives of these children that are facing such difficult circumstances through obviously no cause of their own, whether it's substance use disorder or mental illness. But I wanted to specifically call out Cindy Duenas. She has been the executive director for decades for the Center for Human Services. She's retiring. I remember when the first day she started there, and she has worked so hard for so long to make the Center for Human Services what it is. And it is a very large organization now that helps thousands of people in our community. So I appreciate her. I wanted to comment on that. I wanted to mention for about 2 years now, every month, I've been attending the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission meetings once a month. And this has to do with bringing rail here to Modesto. So we are working diligently on that. I am an ex officio member. I do not vote on their board. However, I attend those meetings every month. And it's a part of my assignment on STANCOG, which is where transportation is primarily covered. So I wanted to highlight that a little rail update that they're doing a lot more outreach even beyond Silicon Valley now, so I advocated for bringing it to the Valley also, this outreach, but it's especially for students with discounted ticketing, for students and also those with ADA requirements, and seniors. Also for 49ers games, there are special accommodations, and to Great America for students. So I thought it was important to highlight that because we attend so many different committee meetings and work on so many different commissions and boards, but we oftentimes don't have the opportunity to let the residents know about this work and how much we're doing to advocate for these causes. That's my report. Any other comments from council members at this time? All right, seeing none, does the city manager have any comments and reports? Not tonight. All right, how about we take a 5-minute break and resume at 7:02? Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is hearings, item 23. Hearing to consider approving fiscal year 2024-25 diagram and annual assessment and ordering the levy and collection of charges within Landscape Maintenance Assessment District 1 for Dry Creek Meadows subdivisions numbers 1 through 6. We'll have a staff report.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. I'm actually taking items 23, 24, and 25 in a joint presentation, and then following that, you guys can make your recommendations. Thanks, Claudia.
Okay.
Okay. So, Landscape Maintenance Assessment District 1 is located in between McClure, Claus, the MID lateral number 1, and McKelly's Way. For 24-25, we are proposing an assessment of $19,474. What this assessment does is help pay for the maintenance and landscaping in the public right-of-way and the street medians and the adjacent to the access control walls. This assessment is divided between 749 residential parcels, which equals $26 per parcel, and there has been no escalator that when this was adopted, and so this assessment has remained the same since 1996. LMAD 2 is directly south, and it actually extends in the same boundaries, but to Yosemite Boulevard. The 24-25 assessment is $34,202, and again, this is to assist with the maintenance and landscaping in the public right-of-ways, street medians, and adjacent access control walls. This assessment district is escalated annually, and the building construction index and the escalation for this year was just over 7%. It is divided between 590 residential parcels and 18 commercial parcels. The residential parcels pay just above $50, and the commercial parcels pay just below $255. Last up with our assessments is our Shackelford Lighting and Landscaping District. This district is in between Crow's Landing, Pecos, Maine, and Rio Grande. And this district pays for the maintenance and utility bills for the 77 high-pressured sodium streetlights. And the assessment for 24-25 is proposed at $30,262. All costs paid by the assessments are levied in the property within the assessment area. So there's 494 residential parcels, and so the per parcel amount would be $63.44. For the Shackelford Lighting and Landscape District, the assessment is set based on the actual expenses of the districts, and so this does change each year based on what the anticipated expenses are. So in order to levy these districts, Allison, can you, oh, there we go. There were two previous council actions that were taken. First, in February 27th, the council directed staff to prepare and file the annual report. On April 9th, we actually brought back the annual report and it was approved by council. And then lastly, tonight is actually the ability to set the levy and collect assessments tonight. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, questions from council member. Councilmember Bavaro.
Thank you, Mayor. Do you just send them a separate bill, or does it go on their utility bill? How do we collect the money?
So this will be assessment added to the property taxes.
To the property taxes? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilmember Wright.
Thank you, Mayor. I was under the impression that on one of these assessments, there has to be a vote by the landowners. Which is that on assessment 1 or 2 or both?
It is assessment 1. It's LMAD 1. And that is because that never had an escalator adopted, and so it stays a flat $26 per parcel every year.
So is this going to go to a vote for them in November?
So at this point in time, we are still just doing the associated maintenance with the budget that we have allowed. But if we do receive a lot of neighbor complaints, it would be something that we would reintroduce what that voting would look like and how they could approve a greater assessment for the area. But at this point, we're not taking one in November.
Okay, so you have the authority to raise it by a certain amount without a vote?
Not for landscape and maintenance. This is not for LMAD 1. For LMAD 2, I get to increase it by the building cost index each year.
But are we increasing number 1?
Number one has to stay the same because we don't have the authority to increase.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions from council members regarding these three items? Seeing none, I will open public comment. I'll now open the public hearing. There are all three public hearings. Are there any members of the public that would like to come forward regarding these items? Seeing none, I will close public comments. Any comments from council members? All right, for item 23, I have a resolution approving the fiscal year 2024-25 diagram and annual assessment and ordering the levy and collection of charges within Landscape Maintenance Assessment District Number 1 for Dry Creek Meadows subdivisions number 1 through 6. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion from
Second.
Councilmember Williams and a second from Vice Mayor Alvarez. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Ricky?
Aye.
Councilmember Bavaro?
Aye.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Councilmember Scudia-Brayton?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Alvarez?
Aye.
And Mayor Swallen.
Aye, so carries unanimously 7-0. Item 24, a resolution approving the fiscal year 2024-25 diagram and annual assessment and ordering the levy and collection of charges within Landscape Maintenance Assessment District Number 2 for Dry Creek Meadows subdivisions numbers 7 through 10, Creekwood Meadows subdivision, and Yosemite Meadows subdivisions units 1 and 2. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Motion by Councilmember Wright.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Ricky. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Ricky?
Aye.
Councilmember Bavaro?
Aye.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Councilmember Scudia-Brayton?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Alvarez?
Aye.
And Mayor Swallen.
Aye, so it carries unanimously 7-0. Item 25, a resolution approving the fiscal year 2024-25 diagram and annual assessment and ordering the levy and collection of charges within Shackelford Landscape and Lighting District. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilmember Scudia-Brayton.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Williams. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Ricky?
Aye.
Councilmember Bavaro?
Aye.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Councilmember Scudia-Brayton?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Alvarez? And Mayor Swallen.
Aye, carries unanimously. Next is a hearing to, number 26, a hearing to consider the annexation of assessor parcel numbers 077-008-039 and 077-008-040, totaling approximately 33.694 acres to the City of Modesto Community Facilities District Number 2004-1, Village 1, Number 2, authorizing the levy of special taxes therein, calling a special election and declaring the results of the June 11th, 2024 election. We will hear this item from Jessica Hill.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council members. So this is the time that has been previously set and noted for the public hearing regarding the proposed annexation for additional property into Village 1, Number 2. The approval of taxes to be levied therein and related matters. Mayor, before you formally open the hearing, I'd like to ask if there are any property owners or persons registered to vote within the Community Facilities District who wish to file written protests who have not already done so. If so, they must be filed with the city clerk now. There being none, will the city clerk please report to us as whether the notice of public hearing has been properly provided and whether the Community Facilities District report prepared by Goodwin Consulting Group describing the Community Facilities District has been received?
Yes. Notice of hearing has been published in accordance with law. The owners of the land within the Community Facilities District have acknowledged notice of the hearings and have consented to the proceedings, and the Community Facilities District report has been filed with the City Council, and a copy of it is available for the public.
Great. Mayor, the hearing may now be officially opened.
All right, I'll now open the public hearing.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a short presentation regarding what a Melrose district is and the area looking to annex today. So the Melrose Community Facility Acts of 1982 was enacted by state legislature to provide flexible funding mechanisms to local governments to help pay for infrastructure and ongoing maintenance. To raise money through special taxes, it must be approved by a 2/3 vote within the district or those areas looking to annex within the district. A CFD is formed to finance major improvements and services in the district, including roads, roadways, storm drain facilities, pump stations, parks, and landscaping and bike trails. Bonds are also can be issued in instances and secured by special taxes levied on property owners and billed at the property tax bills. So in 2004, the City of Modesto formed Community Facility District 2004-1 of Village 1 Number 2. This CFD funds various infrastructure improvements, maintenance of parks and open space, and repair and maintenance of our storm drain basin. There are 3 special taxes for Village 1 Number 2, which is a one-time facilities tax, an annual maintenance tax, and an annual facilities tax. For reference, the area, all colored up there, is the ultimate boundaries of Village 1 Number 2. So in November 2023, NRB Investments filed a complete application requesting to annex the property at the corner of Oakdale and Floyd, which is just below 34 acres, into Village 1 Number 2. And so on your screen here, it is that vacant parcel that is the square right on the corner of Oakdale and Floyd. In order to annex into the CFD, the applicant is aware and is preparing to pay the taxes above. So the maximum one-time tax for the area is $5,709 per net taxable acre. The maximum annual maintenance tax is $3,160 per net taxable acre, and the maximum annual facilities tax is $9,330 per net taxable acre. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right. Are there any questions from council members? Apparently not. So are there any members of the public that would like to come forward regarding this item?
So has the city clerk received any written protest of any of the matters addressed in these public hearings from any of the registered voters or landowners of more than 50% of the acreage located within the Community Facilities District?
No, I have not received any written protests.
Mayor, if there's no further comments from the public or members of the council, the public hearing can be closed.
All right. Any other comments from council members? Councilmember Wright.
Thank you, Mayor. This is my district, and that piece of property has been an eyesore in our neighborhood for years, and I'm constantly getting phone calls or texts wanting to know when something's going to be developed there. Just last week, I had several complaints about the weeds getting very tall, and staff was great to get a hold of the property owner, and they were out there Sunday morning. And then I got complaints because they didn't pick up the trash before they did so anyway, it's glad to see something happening out there. So hopefully this will get dirt start being moved hopefully by the end of the year. So fantastic. Thank you.
All right. At this point, I will close public comments. Has the city clerk conducted the election for the Community Facilities District?
Yes, the results of the election are 34 votes in favor for and 0 votes opposed for annexation number 20. The proposition has passed unanimously. I shall complete and file a certificate as to the results of the canvass of the election.
All right.
So Mayor, now would be the appropriate time to ask for a motion regarding the resolution.
All right. Well, let me read it first. 2 different votes.
Sorry.
I have a resolution calling a special election for the annexation of additional territory to City of Modesto Community Facilities District number 2004-1, Village 1 number 2. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilmember Wright. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Williams. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Ricky?
Aye.
Councilmember Bavaro?
Aye.
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez-Brachin?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Alvarez?
Aye.
And Mayor Zwollen.
Aye. So it carries 7-0, unanimous. I have a resolution declaring the results of the June 11th, 2024 special election and ordering the annexation of the additional territory to City of Modesto Community Facilities District number 2004-1, Village 1 number 2. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Councilmember Bavaro and a second by Councilmember Ricky. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Ricky?
Aye.
Councilmember Bavaro?
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
Councilmembers Gutierrez Brayton.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Alvarez.
Aye.
And Mayor Zwellen.
Aye. I want to clarify, was that you, Councilmember Bavara, that made the motion?
It was, I just told Councilmember Williams that I finally beat him at the.
All right, good. That passes unanimously, 7-0. All right. Apparently that concludes this evening's actions with respect to the City of Modesto Community Facilities District Number 2004-1. Are there any matters too late for the agenda? Seeing none, I am calling this meeting of the City Council to be adjourned.